Welcome back to Final Expense Telesales. My name is Dana Neeson. Last year, I brought you a very special guest by the name of Damon Dillard. Known as the high income sales coach, he has been in this industry for over a decade. He's run multi-million dollar agencies. He has trained, coached, and mentored hundreds and hundreds of agents. And he has recently made the transition from agency owner to coach, mentor, motivator, and leader of all agents. He no longer runs an agency. He is my friend, one of my mentors, and I brought him back to my team last week to pour into us, to help us see things in a different perspective, and ultimately reminding you that success is not about avoiding the struggles. This is right on his website, but about overcoming it through resilience, self-education, and a clear sense of purpose. There is nothing wrong with you, he says. Once you learn the principles of success, everything changes. And so today I'm going to bring you Damon Dillard once again for the second time on this channel. Please take a moment, soak all of this information in, and I challenge you to not feel something significant when you are done watching it. So please enjoy Damon Dillard.
And I want everybody to be absolutely clear. Everything that I'm going to share with you today is based off of my experience. This is not based on a book that I'm regurgitating. This is not based on a podcast that I watch. This is not based on theory, and I am not an emotional person, right? I believe that you need emotion in business, but you cannot be emotional. And so after doing this for 10 years, after spending $37 a lead on direct mail leads, after spending $42 a lead on TV leads, after being in a day and time, I know I'm gonna sound like some of y'all's uncle right now, but after coming into the final expense industry in 2014 and having to go 6 to 8 hours to all of my leads, not having a single lead in Ohio at all, having to drive to Gary, Indiana, having to drive to Michigan, having to drive to LaPorte, Indiana, family, there's nothing new under the sun when it comes to this business to me. And so nothing I heard on that call, either Dana, how truthful can I be on, do I have y'all's, matter of fact, can y'all all drop a 1 in the chat if we can speak like kissing cousins today? If y'all want me to give you the buttoned up conversation, we can do that. But if you want me to just keep it real with y'all, go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat. Okay, nothing on that call intimidated me and nothing surprised me. Nothing impressed me either. What I am afraid for, Dana, and I'm going to be completely honest, open, and transparent because that's all I can do, is I am afraid that there has not been an emphasis enough in the industry on the mind. Can somebody put the word mind in the comments? Can somebody put the word mind in the comments? M-I-N-D. Family, if you don't remember anything else from what I teach or what I say, you cannot travel anywhere in your life, in your business, in your finances, in your relationships, in any area of your life without your mind getting there first. And that is the number one reason why most entrepreneurs, not just insurance agents, but that is why most entrepreneurs are failing. Family, the bane to my existence, and then we can go to the next question. The bane to my existence, I do coaching and consulting. I no longer grow agencies, I grow agents, right? And so the bane to my existence is getting in front of an adult. And I believe everybody in the room is an adult. I believe everybody is mature enough for this real conversation. The bane to my existence is getting in front of somebody and asking them, 1 year from now, can you describe in vivid detail what your life looks like? In other words, can you tell me what your personal life looks like? Can you tell me what your finances look like? Can you tell me what your business looks like? Can you tell me what your lifestyle or leisure looks like? And then more importantly, family, can you tell me what your contribution to the world is? Here's the challenge. Nobody on the line right now can tell me with clarity. Matter of fact, I would venture to say that nobody on the line right now can tell me 90 days from now what their expected income will be. And see, the challenge is this. I understand why you can't, and that's okay. I'm not the pot calling the kettle black. I've had the difficult conversations with mentors from 2013 to the current date. And the very first question they asked me was not, Damon, give me your presentation. They did not ask me what lead source I was using. They did not ask me how I'm going to go about getting clients. They did not ask me how I'm going to go about closing or how to face the objections that we're going to face. You know what they asked? They said, Damon, what's your goal? And I said, well, I want to do better. Well, I want to make between $3,000 to $5,000 a month. Family, somebody say the word goal in the chat. The word is goal. Family, a goal is the destination for your mind. Do not miss this. Your goal is the destination for your mind. Now watch this. There's none of us conceptually, right, that would go out to our car, that would go onto our phone and go into the GPS of either one of them and say, get me there. Well, no, Damon, I wouldn't do that. I'm a very intelligent adult. I've graduated with several different degrees. Damon, I was summa cum laude. Listen, I wasn't. I was thank you, laude. I was just out of there, right? Listen, y'all heard her. I graduated with a 1.7 GPA. I came out of college as a sophomore. Now, I know many of you are saying, well, Damon, it sounds like you did a little bit better in life. That did not come with a degree. As a sophomore, I decided I was done. But come here. Formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. And so, family, if you can understand the simple truths that I'm about to share with you all with Dana, everything will change. I'm going to say it again. As smart as you are, you would never go to a GPS and say, get me there. Why? Well, Damon, we know it's not going to operate. It's not even going to spin. It's not going to search. It's not going to do anything. I need to have an address. Can you say that again? Oh, Damon, I need to have an address. Wait a minute. Can you say that one more time? Damon, I need to have an address. Now, here's what's funny about most adults. What you would end up telling me about why you got into this business, why you started entrepreneurship, is you would probably say, let me guess, because I've been doing this for a long time. You would probably say different words like, well, Damon, I'm looking to create freedom. Damon, I'm looking to create financial freedom. Damon, I want to put my family in a position where money is no longer an issue. Damon, I'm looking to retire my wife. I'm looking to retire my mother and my father. Damon, I'm looking to make sure that my genius children are now taught in private schools by genius teachers. Damon, I want to make sure that I can live my life in a different part of the world whenever I choose to. No, not take a vacation. Yeah, we don't use those type of words around my community. No, we live our lives in different part of the world whenever we choose to. And watch this. Family, even with that detail, many of you cannot tell me that. You would tell me, again, ambiguous words like freedom, about generational wealth. What the heck does that even mean? Freedom. You're looking for freedom. Well, the last time I checked, every single one of us probably has a door somewhere near us, and no one tells us that we can or cannot go. So what do you mean you're looking for freedom? And so the challenge that many of you all are facing right now is you do not know where you're going. And see, let's just call insurance a vehicle. If you all are still with me right now, go ahead and drop a fire sign in the chat. If I still have your attention, if I still have your energy, go ahead and drop a fire sign in the chat. I'm going to say this again. Let's just call what we're in right now, the insurance industry, a vehicle. See, the interesting thing about anytime you get into a car, anytime you get into a vehicle, you've got to know where you're going. In other words, if you don't know where you're going, at some point or another, you're going to run out of gas. Yes or yes? At some point or another, there's going to be a detour that's going to cause you to reroute and you're going to get lost. Why? I don't know where I'm going. At some point or another, you're going to hit a traffic jam. There's going to be an accident in your way. And you're going to say, you know what? This trip ain't even worth it. Why? Because I don't even know where I'm going. You know what? That traffic jam, that cop that stopped me, all of these challenges, all of these obstacles that I'm now facing in my car, I'm going to go back home. Why? Because I'm not even headed anywhere. But let me ask you all a question. Okay, I live, give you all an example. I live about 7 minutes away from my office, right? And I'll just give you all an example. Let's just say, for example, my wife was to call me and she was to say, hey, Damon, and her voice is panting and she's shivering, and I can tell that she's full of fear, and I can tell something is wrong. If she was to say, Damon, there are some men in our house, and she begins to cry. Question, family. What would it take for me to get home? If I walked outside and my car didn't start, would I say, oh, well, damn, like, well, my car won't start, so I guess my whole family's about to die. I'll go back in the office and wait it out. If I get in my car and it putts to the first light and then stops, is that going to stop me? Family, do you know what I would do? I don't know about y'all. I don't know how much you all love your family. But what I would do is, even if my car didn't start, I would stop the next car on the road. I would not give them an explanation on where I'm going or why I need to get there or how urgent it is. I would pull whoever is in the car. Well, if it's a woman, I'd probably push her to the side and say, man, we going today, right? I'm to my house. Listen, I don't care if there's a gunman at the door. I am saving my family. And see, the reason why many of you all right now are so focused on the intricacies of the bit. Well, what is the lead cost? I want to know what my seat. I don't care about none of that. Family, when I got into this business, I was 3 months past doing my rent, 3 months past doing my utilities. I was about to lose anything and everything in my home. I did not have a car at that time. All I had, come here, was my life insurance license. Can I say this again? There was no Dana Neeson at this time. You know what they gave me? I'm going to be very honest. They gave me a sheet of paper like this. I remember getting my license, y'all. I came into the office. I said, I'm ready for training. They gave me a sheet of paper and they said, learn this presentation. And then they gave me this little book. And they said, this is your underwriting book. Either their final expense or they're modified. Oh, we're going to take you out in the field one day so that way you can observe. And oh, by the way, I went in the field that one day with the manager and he didn't sell a single policy. So Damon, wait a minute. How in the world were you number 7 out of 5,000 agents in 2015 when earlier that year you were about to be evicted from your home? Oh, by the way, from January 15th to April 7th, I only had leads in Cincinnati, Ohio, which means every single day that I worked my business, I would have to travel 2 hours from my home to my leads, driving the city, knocking one door at a time, and then coming back home 2 hours to do it all again the next day. Tell me more about your issues with your business. Tell me more about your issues with your Facebook ads. Listen, and I'm saying this with all due respect, family. I love every single one of you because I love Dana, but I have no time for emotion. What are you doing this for? See, whenever I hear someone talking about some of the intricacies in the business and they have not yet gotten to $10,000 a month, I know they don't have a why. Listen, I remember getting into that office the first day of training, and I'm gonna try not to get emotional, right? Because I told you there's no emotion, but I was so sick and tired of my life being what it was at that time, family. 2014, we made less than $11,000 the entire year. Now, I had 4 children. At that time, I had 4 children. Now I have 5. I could not even afford the child support obligations that would come to my home every single month. One of the worst feelings I had was people would continue to tell me over and over again, Damon, you have so much potential. What? Potential where? I'm barely making $9 an hour. I am robbing Peter to pay Paul, John, Luke, every single one of the disciples. I am driving around in a rented 92 Saturn that is a clutch, a manual transmission, and I never learned how to drive one. Where's this potential? It's not showing up in my bank account. It's not showing up in my relationships. I had burned bridges all over the world, couldn't cross a lake to save my life. Where's this potential? Family, I was losing. Somebody promised me that getting my life insurance license would allow me to never have to worry about money again. Now, let me help everybody out. And Dana, stop me at any time. She warned y'all, right? She said, listen, once you get Damon going, you got to reel him back in. All right. If you all are still with me, let me know that this is not, maybe this is rap enthusiasm and not sheer boredom. Just drop a 1 in the chat. Okay. Family, I had reached a point where I said, enough is enough. And what I found for most entrepreneurs is they have not yet experienced enough pain to do whatever it takes. Let me help everybody out. What is your can somebody just tell me in the chat, what is your title? There we go. Somebody tell me in the chat, what is your title? What exactly do you do? Let me see fam, and it's a guess, not a test. Matter of fact, Dana is going to send you all an air guitar for any answer that you get correct today, okay? Somebody said, I'm a broker. Help me out. What is your title? I remember when I was at my starting company. Do we only have one? Oh, no wonder why it's so difficult for you all to win. Nobody follows directions. I'm self-employed. I'm a financial services professional. I like that. I'm an agent. I love it. Watch this. When I was at my previous company, which will go unnamed, right? I've only worked for 2 companies my whole life, my own and another company in the final expense industry. And anytime somebody said broker, we always correlated that to broke. Dana, you remember that? You remember that? Listen, I was like, I don't want to be a general practitioner. I am a brain surgeon, right? That was our philosophy. Hey, we made a lot of money in that company, though. I made a lot of. Okay, watch this. That's your number one issue. Every answer that I just saw, stay with me now, is your number one issue. Now, some of you all are answering correctly. You are a business owner. Okay, stay with me. Everybody write down on the top of your paper, I am a business owner. Now, I have a question for you. Who is your ideal client? Go ahead, put it in the notes. I'm very curious because anytime that I help a digital marketer, right, I help a lot of life insurance right now. I have a lot of my clients that are digital marketers. They have a book, whatever they're looking to speak, whatever. Seniors. Okay, watch this. The first thing that we do is we get really, really clear on your niche. Anytime a business owner comes to me for business consulting, the very first thing that we get clear on, write this down, is we get clear on your niche. Damon, what is a niche? A niche is a subset of people. Very, very simple, right? You have what's called evergreen niches, right? You have health, wealth, and relationships. Forever and a day, stay with me, I'm going somewhere with this. Forever and a day, people will be looking to improve in one of those 3 major niches. Somebody say, go deeper. The deeper that you go into your specific niche, the more money you'll always find. Did you all hear what I just said? You have 3 evergreen niches: health, wealth, relationships. You all, as business owners, are in the wealth niche. Now, the deeper I go into that niche as a business owner, the more gold out I find. Does this make sense, family? There's a book that you all can reference that talks a little bit about this. It's called The Blue Ocean Strategy. All right, The Blue Ocean Strategy. So if you've never read that book, I strongly encourage you to do so. So give you my background real quick, right? When I was looking at the financial services industry, I said to myself, because again, I didn't graduate from college, but I did have enough business acumen at that time to understand I need to specialize at something. Because I was going around to all these different financial firms. I'm going to the Northwestern Mutuals. I'm going to the Prudentials. I'm going to the Charles Schwabs. I'm going to all these different financial firms. And my question was, how long will it take me to make 6 figures? Now, the majority of them answered the same. They said, well, listen, Damon, with your ability to articulate words, with your ability to communicate, you're a suave guy, you're a great, listen, we can help you get there, build your book of business, get you there in at least the next 3 to 4 years. Now, to some people, that sounds reasonable. To me, that was too long. Let me have everybody mute out if possible. To me, that was way too long. I said, ain't no way. I can't do that. I need to make now. Now watch this. What I understood was the major difference between entrepreneurs. Damon, what are you talking about? What I see a distinction of is people that are making 6 figures, 7 figures, 8, 9, so forth and so on. The major distinction I see of the people that do extremely well, somebody put this word in your notes, specialize. They specialize in something. You have general practitioners, and then you have brain surgeons. Does that make sense? You have some people that I don't know who got this philosophy. Well, I've got to have multiple streams of income in order for me to get rich. Who told you that? Matter of fact, let me say it better. Who lied to you? Because from the research I did, somebody say success leaves clues. From the research I did, success leaves clues. There is nobody that you can show me that is worth 8 to 9 figures or more in an evaluation that that did more than one thing in their first 5 to 7 years. Not one. Matter of fact, I'll do you all a favor. You DM me somebody's name and say, yeah, Damon, they did it. I'll send you $1,000 immediately. Now they got to have at least 8, 9 figures. We ain't talking about these newfound. No, that's not wealth, right? They specialize it. So y'all with me? I know my niche. I'm going deeper on my niche. Now, when I get into my niche, let's just say we're in the final expense arena. Obviously, you are. My next question I would have for you, write this down, family. People pay me $30,000 for this information. Okay? People pay me $30,000. A lot of people pay me $30,000 a year for this information. Write this down. Watch this. My next question I have for the business owner is, tell me about your avatar. Damon, what is an avatar? Well, an avatar is your specific client. And so your avatar, come here, family, is not seniors. In other words, your ideal client is not seniors. Who is your ideal client? Watch this, family. If you can't answer these questions like the back of your hand, you don't own a business, so you can't be complaining about Nathan. You're just trying to figure it out. Complain about what? Wait a minute, you're not even a business owner. You can't, listen, I can't imagine Steve Jobs coming into any meeting at all, speaking to and saying, well, they say, hey, so Steve, what are your numbers going to look like over the next 90 days? Well, our projections are, and he would know it like the back of his hand. Well, not now, rest in peace, but does this make sense? Family, data, not emotion. Data, not emotion. All right, y'all with me? What is your avatar? Is it a 63-year young woman? She's a non-smoker. She weighs about 180 pounds. Is she 5'3"? Does she live? Her income is somewhere between $30,000 to $40,000 a year. Or maybe is she on a fixed income, only earning about $1,800? Is that your ideal client? Damon, why would I want an ideal client if I service everybody? Family. Because you're a business owner. And do you know what happens when you have an avatar? You know, just wave at me if you all have ever heard of Paul Mitchell. Has anybody ever heard of Paul Mitchell? Okay, I know y'all like, Damon, you don't have any hair. How do you know about Paul? Okay, it's a story. Okay, it's a story. Paul Mitchell was a very, very popular salon brand, right? And one day they wanted to build up their business. They said one day, okay, well, we've got to do better. We've got to increase revenue. We've got to increase profits. And so they brought in a business consultant. And the business consultant came in the boardroom and they're asking them several questions. And Paul Mitchell and the staff, they keep talking about Alexa. They're like, yeah, well, Alexa is, and the business consultant is like, what? And he asks another question and they go, well, yeah, Alexa does. And they're like, what? And the business consultant asks another question. And every question that Paul Mitchell and the staff answered was about Alexa. And so finally, the business consultant said, can you bring Alexa in here? Who is Alexa? And so they all looked at each other. They smiled. And they said, come here. So they walked the business consultant into this huge room that had pictures of this woman everywhere. It had stats about this woman. It had diagrams. It had philosophies. It had the value system of this woman, Alexa. And they said, this is Alexa. See, family, it's very difficult. Come here, because you all are business owners, right? And the only reason a business is in existence is to solve a solution for a problem. Well, guess what? I can't intimately know my problems or my solution until I know my individual. See, 99% of insurance agents are focused on the wrong thing. Family, do me a favor. Can any of you all tell me the law of wealth? In other words, there are universal laws. They are called principles They are prerequisites. They are foundational truths, which means no matter the economy, no matter what the price of Facebook, no matter what, they never change. They are always in existence. Okay, watch this. Some of you all have heard of the law of gravity before, yes? The law of gravity states what goes up must come down. That is a law. Watch this. Come here. You can argue with your mama, but you can't argue with the law of gravity. I don't care who you are. You could be black, white, tall, skinny, short, fat, cute, ugly. Doesn't matter. Your mama loves you. If I took you to the top of this building right now and I threw you off, you would not float. You would not fly. You would fall. Why? Because it's a law. And did you know that there is a law to the exact thing that you all are pursuing every single day? But maybe the reason why you're so frustrated in your business is because you don't understand the law. Maybe the reason why you're searching for the little intricacies and what can I save on my lead? Family, can I say it again? We did 58 policies and a little over $67,000 in AP on a lead that was $42 a lead. I couldn't go to anybody personally and say, hey, would you mind if you give me a lower price? I couldn't go. I couldn't do that. The cheapest lead was $37. Oh, by the way, we only had paper applications at that time. There was no, hey, just electronically send it in. The companies, watch this. They would have to give us a physical check in the house. I would have to collect a physical check that they would have to fill out in order for me, come here, to send in with the paperwork, UPS, next day delivery for the company to pay me. Come here. Tell me more about your issues. Tell me more about your problems. Well, Damon, that's why there's inventions. That's why there's alliterations. I mean, the business should be easier now. No, maybe you're just weak. Maybe you just don't understand the law. Knowing the law creates freedom. Write this down. The law of creating wealth, family, is your income, okay? Your income. Your income. What you deposit in your account every day, every month, every year, every week, what you're going to earn, your revenue, your income will be directly equivalent, come here, to the value that you bring the marketplace. Somebody say, what? Yeah. So let me help you out. If you earn 50 grand a year, that's not your value as a person. No, in the child of God. Listen, you are a child of God. You are made in the image and likeness of the ultimate creator. So you are invaluable as a human being. But once again, what marketplace are you in? Well, Damon, I'm only earning 5 grand a month. Well, that's your value to the marketplace. Well, Damon, I'm only earning 10 grand a month. Well, that's your value. Well, Damon, you're earning a lot. That's my value. Well, Damon, my question now, okay, smart guy with your little fancy suit, coming in here talking all brash, then tell me how to increase my value. I don't mind if I do. Write this down. There are 3 things you can do right now to increase your value. Number 1, what is the need for what you do? Family, we are in, and I stand 10 toes down on this. All right, I got 5 minutes. I stand 10 toes down on this. We are in the most incredible industry known to man. If somebody was to tell me right now, Damon, I need to make $20,000 by Friday, the number 1 question I would have for them is, do you have your life insurance license? That's it. No. Do you have your, okay, bet, come here. Look, I got you. I'm gonna write down the plan, right? Whether you execute it or not, totally up to you. You want to make that in a day? Perfect. Here's the plan. Execute it or not. Family, this business, and I'm saying this again from a place of conviction because I've done it. I've been 3 months past due on rent. I've been 3 months past due on utilities. We've done it. And we've helped agents do it over and over and over and over and over. I got a young lady right now that I brought into the industry about 1.5 years ago. She was making about $1,500 a month. She was doing this and network marketing and credit and doing all this stuff, trying to figure it out. She was doing her own ads and blah, blah, blah. I said, listen, come here. You want to do it a little easier? She has 2 children. She was living with her parents. One of her children has extreme disabilities. And I said, listen, you want to do it the hard way or the easy way? She said, Damon, I'm finally ready to listen. Somebody said that to themselves. I'm finally ready to listen. Say it one more time. I'm fine. Here's the problem with most adults. Most adults think they know, but they have no idea. They think they know, but they have no idea. I said, okay, come on. Now she's doing around $40,000 a month in AP. I believe her team last month did about $130,000. Yeah, we talk every day, every single day. She was coachable and teachable. Most people are not. I have stories like that over and over. Two young men. Matter of fact, two young men that you all know very, very well. They'll go unnamed on this particular call. But two young men that you all know very well. I brought them into the industry 2019. They were college students. They didn't know anything about sales. They didn't know anything about final expense. One of them already had their license, and they said, oh, I want to do annuities, Damon. I want to do IULs. I said, listen, you're making $400 every 2 weeks. Either you're willing to listen or you're not. I said, if you do everything that I'm about to tell you to do, you will make $400, if not a day, if an hour. Guess what? Their agency, I believe, does around 500 to 600 grand a month right now. Y'all ready to listen? Number one, what is the need for what you do? There's a tremendous need for what you do. Number two, here's where the rubber meets the road. What is your ability to do it? Now, listen to me. What is your ability to do it? Listen to me. The ability to do it, come here, is not your ability to sell. Somebody say, oh, uh-oh, Damon talking spicy. Yeah, it's not your ability to sell. That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is your ability to be a business owner. Watch this. As a business owner, the only thing I care about, come here, is returning a profit back to my shareholders. Oh, is that too advanced? Maybe that's too advanced. No, say, I'm a business owner, Damon. I like this type of language. Yeah, don't talk to me about leads. And no. Talk to me as a business owner. Okay, your responsibility is to return profits to your shareholders. You want to know who my shareholders are? Tierra, Journey, Kyrie, Isaiah, and Nevaeh. Those are my shareholders. Who is that, Damon? My family. They don't a Facebook ads team. My son Kyrie never said, Dad, can you make it to my school play? Let me ask my Facebook ads team. Like, he doesn't know anything about that. He wants a dad as a business owner. Watch this. What is your ability to articulate the needs of your client? Because here's the thing, family. I heard a wise man once say it. I believe it was Zig Ziglar or Jim Rohn. I want you to write this in your notes. If you can help enough people get what you want, if you can help enough people get what they want, you will never, ever have to worry about what you want. I want to show you all something, and then I'll shut it down. Number 3 is, how hard is it to replace you? Because I know some of y'all super analytical folks is like, well, Damon, where's number 3? You didn't give me number 3. Okay, how hard is it to replace you? There you go. All right, write it in your notes. Family, I want to show you all something, and then Dana, it's back to you. Family, I know I don't need to prove anything to you all, right? But so for the last 10 years, I've kept a journal every year of everything that we've done to build the business, right? And so I got my license March 2014. This is my journal from 2015, 2016. Can you all see that? And every single day, what I would do is I would write down in grave detail, right? I would write down what area I was in. I would write down how many presentations, how many people I actually spoke to, what my income was. Watch this. Can I be, y'all said I can be honest, right? Have I built enough trust with y'all to just be honest with y'all? Yes or yes? Okay, watch this. Family, a fundamental issue that I heard on the phone call a little bit earlier is we weren't talking about income earned. Listen, I got trophies for days on my AP, but do you know what never paid my bills? My AP. Okay, like listen. In our conversations in the communities, I could give a daggone about your AP. Oh, well, my AP numbers were 50,000. Yeah, but it was all guaranteed issue business. Well, Damon, I mean, well, that's how I get recognized. Do you want to be recognized publicly or privately? Like, I want private recognition. I want my family to be like, Dad, thank you so much for bringing us to Disney World and allowing us to skip the line, right? Like that. And so, okay, y'all with me? So I wrote down every single day what my income was for the day. Write this down, family. I knew what my income would be every day because I knew how many families I would need to assist in order to hit that income. Question for you all. Do you have a family's assisted goal? Or are you more concerned about the cost per lead? See, I can have a conversation with somebody for 30 seconds and immediately know where their focus is. Well, Damon, that does matter as a business owner. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. But see, I wanted to put myself in a position financially where that conversation is no longer a conversation at my pay grade. Listen, I want to be in a position where what? Vendors, I'm not having a conversation with a vendor. You have the conversation with the vendor. I pay you. Well, Damon, but I'm brand new in the business. Yo, maybe you didn't hear me earlier. $37 and $42 a lead. Family, a couple of questions I want to leave you all with. I want you all to write this down. 1 year from now, if I was able to put you in a time machine right now, and DeLorean, Back to the Future style, right? And I was able to put you into May 16th of 2026. Stay with me. What would have needed to happen in your life and in your business that would have allowed that year to be the best of your entire life? How many families would you have assisted? How many agents would you have assisted to bring them into the industry? And what is their current income? What have you been able to do now that you've earned X amount of dollars? Where did you travel to? What did you purchase? Did you retire different people from your family? Are you living in a new home? Are you driving a new car? Family, your mind only works one of two ways. It works from memory or it works from imagination. And so, in other words, if I'm not consistently pre-playing my future, my only focus is on the present and the past. And guess what? If that's all I think about, that's all I'm recreating. The greatest gift that you could give yourself in your business is to know where you are going. It'll make everything in the present not even matter anymore. Dana, back to you.
Well, let me just take my list of questions and throw them over my shoulder. I knew there was no questions I would have to ask you for you to provide tremendous value, to the team, because I do. And the reason that I like to bring you in, and the reason that I will bring you in again in the future, is because we don't talk about mindset enough. And I don't think that it is a weakness I've shared with you before. It is a weakness that I have in expressing the importance of the mindset when we're so fixated on the little things that really don't make a big difference in the failure or success of our business. Real quick before we go and wrap up, I think that Tori asked a great question that we could help her answer. So on bad days, when you go to doors and people aren't there, when you pick up the phone and they tell you to F off, and when you're having these days in the present, which is what you can sometimes be forced to focus on, what do you do? What habits are non-negotiables that help you push through and still get to where you are?
Yeah, this is a really, really good question. Let me ask this question first. Family, there's something I'm gonna talk to Dana about. I'm just curious. I want you all to answer because you all are Dana's community, right? Could you all benefit from this type of conversation more than just once every few months? Like if you all were to actually learn how to unravel, how to unlock how to be able to go into situations with a Trump type mindset that allowed you to let go of this self-limiting, because everything I'm talking about is not about you becoming a new person. The mindset stuff that I go over, that's not about you becoming. What it is it's about you unraveling and peeling off the layers of conditioning that life has put upon you. Family, there are some of you right now that if I was to ask you about your personality type, you would say, well, Damon, I could never do what you're doing because I'm an introvert. And then I would ask you a question and I would say, who told you that? Well, Damon, I've always been an introvert. Really? Because when you were born, you only had two fears. You had a fear of loud noises and you had a fear of falling. Those are the only two fears you had. And so when you were young, the possibilities were endless. You would do anything and everything. You didn't know anything about a bad day or a challenging day or people cussing me. You didn't know any. Listen, if you were anything like me, you were naked all the time. Okay, I was a little chubby baby. I had a big old belly. My grandma used to tell me all the time, well, you know you got your arms from Kmart. See, some of y'all way too young to even remember Kmart, right? And I used to walk around the house. I had milk falling off my chin, and somebody would come to the door, and I'd run to the door, bust the door wide open, and they see all of my glory. But at some point, I said, okay, that's not proper. What else did you start to say that's not proper to? Or maybe you started to say you were an introvert because your parents told you over and over and over and over and over. Let me see if somebody can finish this sentence. When you go outside, do not talk to. Somebody tell me in the chat. What they say? What they say? Oh yeah, okay. So we share the same parents. Do not talk to strangers. And then one day they introduce you to a stranger. And they say, come on, little Johnny. Come on, little Johnny. Tell them you said hello. And you looking up at them, you like. And here's what they said to you. They said, oh, don't worry about Johnny. He's just a little shy. And then in your mind, you said, I'm shy. That's why I don't talk to people. Yeah, Damon, I could never do what you and Dana do because I'm shy. I don't talk to people. Who told you that? And so many of the things that you all are wearing, many of the ways that you're operating right now, family, if you all can note this down, again, I don't have time to disseminate any of this information, but 95% of your daily behaviors are unconscious. 95% of the way that you think, the way that you feel, the way that you behave, the way that you're listening to me right now, the way that you wake up every single day, 95% of that is unconscious. Damon, what is the significance of that? If something is unconscious, that means it's on autopilot. If it's on autopilot, that means at some point or another, your mind said, you know what? You have repeated this behavior over and over and over. We're using way too much bandwidth. Let's make it subconscious. In other words, let's make it an automatic habit. That is why when you brush your teeth, you don't have to think about it. That is why when you take a shower, you don't have to think about it. That is why you can drive home some days, not even know how you got there, and you just end up home and you're like, why? It's unconscious. Family, did y'all hear what I said? 95% of what you do is that. And so every single day, the way that you approach your leads is based on an experience of your past. Every single day, the way you talk to your clients, the way you even perceive your business is based on something that happened in your past. Can somebody say this word in the comments? The word is future. The word is future. Again, the word, family, is future. If you all can agree that the reason why you're on this line, the reason why you're even still listening to me right now is because you desire a different future. If that's you, say yes. Watch this. Family, if you all looked up the definition of the word future right now, guess what it says? Future, according to Oxford Dictionary, is the time or the period of time following the moment of speaking or writing. Listen, Every time I talk about this, Dana, I almost run through a wall. Can I say this again? Because the truth is always simple. It's lies that are complicated. Business is very, very easy if you know the simple truths. The truth is always simple. It's lies that are complicated. I'm going to say it again. Future is the time or the period of time following the moment of speaking or writing. And so somebody asked the question, for anybody that aspires to be a public speaker, what I just did is called a hermeneutical loop, right? And so we started with the question from Dana. She asked about how do you approach that day? I gave you all context. Now I'm answering the question. Future is the time or the period of time following the moment of speaking or writing. Watch this. I don't have challenging days. I don't have bad days. I have a day. Oh, that's that. Yeah, Damon, that's that esoteric, that metaphysical, that's that woo-woo stuff. Okay, you keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to do what I'm doing. There are no bad days. But guess what? If you talk about it, see, here's why gossip cannot be your greatest bonding tool. Oh, did I say it? I'm going to say it again. This is why you have to stop allowing gossip to be your bonding tool. Why? Well, because if you keep talking about what's happening right now, you continue to recreate it. Okay, Damon, I get you. So what the heck do you say in your challenging days? I am so happy and grateful now. I am so happy and grateful now. I am so happy and grateful. My team leaves me. I'm sorry. Oh, by the way, I've had teams leave me with $300,000+ of debt before. Yeah. I've had somebody write over $35,000 3 months in a row to find out that every single one of the policies they wrote was actually fraudulent. And I went back to find out where the customers live, that some of them actually did live at the addresses. And they said to me, we have never heard of this person before in our lives. So you're not talking to somebody who hasn't been through the gauntlet. No, I have the smoke of battle on me. This is not just, oh, well, you've never been through anything. Family, I've left the company in 2018 where every single person in the company looked up to myself and my wife as the martyr of the company. We were the example of what could happen for that company. To have every single person turn their back on me, to have the very owner of the company call me and say, well, good luck. Now your son's not going to have health insurance. The owner of the company called me and told me that. Slim, you're doing your face. Come on. You know what I said? I am so happy and grateful now. Why? Because I knew my destination. I am so happy and grateful now. I am so happy and grateful now that I am earning over $1 million a month. I am so happy and grateful now that I am earning over $1 million a month. The business goes backwards. I am so happy and grateful now that I am earning over $1 million a month. Why? Because just because there was an event in the road, does that change your destination? Maybe you all weren't listening to me. If you have a destination, just because there was a detour, does that change the destination? Just because there was a traffic jam, does that change the destination? Just because someone lied on you, someone cheated on you, someone stole from you, does that change the destination? No. One monkey ain't never stopped the show. Dana, back to you.
I'm not going to ask you another question because I want to be respectful of your time and I want to just have everybody soak in everything that they just had the opportunity to learn from you. I put in the chat, I don't know if you saw it, but when I lost, my team in January, I could have very easily allowed that bad day to dictate my future. And it actually surprises me how many people were so surprised that I didn't let it dictate my future. Because it does not deter me from my destination, is exactly what Damon said. So if you are letting these roadblocks, these bad leads, the cost per lead, the whether or not you can make the amount of dials you want to make, hit the number of AP you want to make, deter you from your destination. Doesn't matter what company you're with. It doesn't matter what lead source you're getting. Doesn't matter what your script is. You are the determining factor in your destination.
100%. 100%. Can
Everybody,
I go out two resources real quick?
yeah.
And I'm not going to give you context. I'm going to just give you the straight resources because I talk a lot, as y'all can tell. Number one, you can find it on YouTube. It's absolutely free of charge. On YouTube, I want you to look up an audio. It's called The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. Okay. It's called The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. I listen to that every single day, 2 to 3 times a day for my first 3, 4 years of the business. The second one is a book. The book is called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. It's by a gentleman by the name of Dr. Shad Helmstetter. All right. 75 to 85% of the conversations you have every single day are with you. And so the truth is, if you are not living your dream right now, it's because you talked you out of it.
Everybody thank Damon in the chat for spending his valuable time with us today, for pouring into us today. And this is literally scratching the surface of what is possible. I mean, there was many moments when you spoke today, Damon, that I just wanted to start crying, to be honest. How can people learn more from you if they want to get connected to you, if they want you to pour into them? I know you have a community where you help agents grow, not as an agency owner, but as someone who wants to, help the whole human, become a better business owner. How can they connect to you directly?
Yeah, 100%. So, number one, I am going to have a conversation with Dana about you all. So hopefully we'll stay connected even after this. But if you want to find me on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, it's very simple. Damon P. Dillard on any of those platforms. My main platform, which I've actually been live here for about an hour now, but it's Instagram. So if you want to find the majority of my content, it is on Instagram. I do have a free platform that you can tap into right now. It's called the Elevated Income Academy. All right, that is on Facebook. It is a free Facebook group. You can go in there, get some more of this information. If you're looking for a little bit higher level of intimacy, if you're like, you know what, Damon, I don't want the fluff. Like, I need you to unravel my business. I need you to tell me the hard truths. We have a program right now. It's called Secrets of a Seven-Figure Agent. All right, Secrets of a Seven-Figure Agent. If you want more information about that, reach out to Dana. Have Dana reach out to me, or you can hit me on IG and just comment the word elevate. You're just going to comment the word elevate. And I will be in contact with you and we can set up a quick call.
Thank you so much. A million thank yous. There's no amount of thank yous. And I'm excited to join your team on Monday, which is going to be awesome. We're going to have a great debate. I'm super excited. Hopefully I can get that content and we'll know where to share it so that the team can watch it as well. Guys, please thank Damon. Thank him again. If you already thanked him, thank him again. Thank him a million times. Thank you for believing in me to bring people like this to you, right? Because of where you've decided to align yourself at. We are here to help you with everything, right? Not just the leads, not just the training, but I know my weaknesses. Damon fills that weakness for me. And even what Damon just said, like, who told you were weak in mindset? I'm reflecting on that. I am not. I need to become that person that is strong in mindset training. So there's so much help that we can all have. Thank you, Damon, so much. And I look forward to talking to you again about what your thoughts are.
Absolutely. Love you all.